Back to my old tricks. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the show. We got lots of peeps. Waldrop, McGill, Stanifer, Bennett, Lily. Did he break his leg? Wonder what he does right before the show. Psych himself up, prep in a mirror, or just sit in his garage with a blank stare waiting for the time to push the button. No, I'm frantically trying to make sure that I have the things that I need. And that's why sometimes it's 5:37, because I've realized that I don't have the things I need and maybe I have to poop. Wasn't the case tonight, but it does happen. No, not shotgunning a few beers to get ready for the show is not a thing. Oh, might have dozed off. Nope. Brian's here. Didn't doze off. I was actually, the last couple of minutes before I started the show, I was like, oh, I need a couple extra places to put a camera. So I need to clear a couple of spots because I'm going to be doing things today, like putting you guys places that you don't normally go live when I'm doing stuff. So I needed to make a spot over there so that you could see the drill press, and a spot over there so you can see the bandsaw. And then, yes, Pinnell's correct. Then I have to rush to hair and makeup to get that done. And then I have to just make sure that there were no last minute changes to the script. Go to the writer's room and make sure that there haven't been any last minute changes to the script. Oh, is Tyler here? Waldrop's asking Tyler about the podcast. I haven't even seen him. Where is he? And we've got bots already. Yay! No, I don't think there was any swearing. We kept it clean. We bashed on some stuff. We bashed on the Great Guitar Build-Off a little bit, but there was no swearing involved. Tyler Peterson, everybody. He's Monday's guest on the Wooden Things and Stuff podcast. Spam bots are here. Yay! Oh, yeah, that's good. It's good. We're changing things up tonight because Lathe is out of commission until I can figure out what is wrong with Lathe. I found one of the things that's wrong with Lathe is it's not tensioning the belt properly. The motor uppy downy isn't properly uppy downying, so it's not tensioning the belt properly, which is clearly a problem. I don't know if there's a bearing problem, because if I fix that, then if that fixes it, then I'm good. But that's at least one thing that's wrong with the lathe. Let's just get right into the making part of the night, because I really would like a beer, and I am not going to beer before I table saw. He's stuck in 1-speed range. No, I'm not even I can move the belt. It's just the lever that retensions the belt after I move it doesn't retension the belt. It's not. I'll show you later. Let's get table sawing out of the way so that I can have a beer. Because I don't want to beer before table saw. I'll beer before lathe. I'll beer before drill press. I'll beer before bandsaw if it's not a lot of bandsawing. I don't beer before table saw. So we're going to make one of these little tea trays tonight. I did this one as proof of concept to see whether or not this was a feasible thing to be able to do on the show in a reasonable amount of time. And I think it is. I've got this Bill, we'll get it. I'll show you what the situation. The motor is attached to the lever thing that untensions and retensions the belt for the belt changes, and the uppy downy of the motor lift is not uppy downying. There's like a cam situation in there that it's only uppy downying a little bit and it needs to do more. This is the technical term for things, by the way, in case you're new here. This is how we talk about stuff. I had this offcut of 8/4 sapele from the guitar build that I think I was planning on just chopping into a bowl blank or something. But I was looking around for, like, what can I do on the show? What could I make on the show that isn't lathe based that would be the proper length for a show? Like, what can I do in an hour and a half? So I was like, maybe I'll make a little like miter box. I could probably crush out a miter box in an hour and a half if I have all the wood milled already. I was like, well, but not really, because you got to glue it up, and then you got to let the glue dry, and then you got to reinforce the corners with splines if you're going to do that, which I usually do. And then you got to cut the lid off, and then clean up where you cut the lid off, and then add hinges. And I was like, no, I don't. That's more than I want to do. So I got this piece of 8/4 sapele that was cut off from the guitar. I was like, I wonder if I'd just make a little tray. It's about 12 inches long, a little over 12 inches long. And I could cut these things out and cut a groove and put a piece of plywood in it and make a little tea tray. You can fit a couple of coffee cups and some sugar and cream and stuff on one of these, or whatever. They'd be handy things to have around. So let's at least get the thing to glue up phase. It's just ripping some strips, cutting a groove in it, cutting a panel, cutting some miters, and gluing it together. And I made some little, so you can picky uppy. Let's do it. Let's make one of these little trays. Essentially it's a shallow box with no lid. A little mitered box without a lid that can function as a tray. If you had a bunch of guitar parts, Tyler Peterson, you make yourself a little tray for all your electronic bits and stuff to sit on and not roll around on your bench. I don't know. You use this thing for lots of stuff. Let's make one. I'm going to start with this 8/4 sapele. We'll rip some strips. We'll put some grooves in it. We'll cut some miters on it. We'll glue it together. Or a charcuterie board with sides. Whatever it is you want to do with the tray, you can do that. I would really like a beer. It's weird not starting with a beer. Let's start with table sawing. Here's my... I was filming this project, and I screwed up a couple of shots when I was filming it. So you guys get to be involved in the filming of the project as well for like the regular show. I cut off an extra piece when I was cutting, so I can reset my fence to that. Oh, here we go. It's a weird show. Am I evil? Yes, that's an evil thing to think, Paul. There we go. 4 sides cut. That was the practice. There's our 4 sides. I'm at about 3/4 of an inch, give or take. Maybe a little less. And now we're going to miter them. No riving knife, Paul. I don't believe in riving knives. It's not true. I'll tell it again. The story of the no riving knife is that my old table saw that I had before this one, the riving knife made it more dangerous to use than with it off. So when I got this table saw, I just took the riving knife off, just assuming that I didn't want it on there. And then I lost it before I found out that I probably actually did want it on there. So we're going to miter these all together on my miter sled. I have a video on my channel of making the miter sled. But this way we will ensure that they are all the same length and the same degrees. Nice and tight together. Throw it up on the miter sled. This like that. No, in case you're wondering, the tape is not going to throw it off of 90. I mean, maybe 0.02 degrees off 90 or something. There's my bundle. You saw a kickback? Yeah. Sent off cut into a guy's kidney and out his back. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, it's certainly a risk. I have, well, no. I was going to say I have had a kickback before, but it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. Sorry about it. You might want to turn your volume down. Yeah. Sorry. Think how I feel. I'm way closer to it than you guys. 45. 44.9. Back a little bit. 45. 45.1. Damn it. 45. RIP headphone users. Yeah, sorry about that. So this is my miter sled. Same as any crosscut sled, it's just I cut the kerf at 45 degrees. Put you guys up on something. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Got 4 sides mitered. They're all the same length. Lost the tip of my finger to a table saw. Now every single time I turn it back on, my skin just trembles. Yeah, I was pretty shaky the first couple of times I used my bandsaw after I touched it. I can understand that. It's not as bad going the other way. Your sinuses are filling with dust just watching? Yeah, I do need a new dust collection system. It's even worse right now because my table saw is like almost full because I'm not good at cleaning it out either. Normally I would have the fan on and stuff, but audio. Back up to 90. 89.8. 89.9 the other way. Come on. Yeah. You call that thing you measured the angle with? Digital angle gauge, probably, if you were looking it up. Would probably find you a selection of them. Wixie makes one. I don't know what this one is exactly. This is a Capri Tools digital angle gauge. It's super handy. I mean, I only ever use it for 45 and 90, but Untape our sides. I'm going to mark these, mark the top and, well, top or bottom. Doesn't really matter which one you do. As long as it's the same side against the fence. So I'm going to go that side against the fence on all of them so that my grooves match up. What's going on? How does it work? Yeah, it's magic. I actually don't know. It's got something inside it that tells you zero it out on your surface and then you tip it and it tells you what the relationship between those two angles is. I'm going to go about halfway, maybe a little bit less. And cut ourselves a groove in these guys for our panel. You go about the middle. It's not that important. As long as you follow your arrows, arrow into the fence, then it doesn't matter if it's right in the middle or not. We're gonna have to cut 2 passes to get our 1/4 inch panel in there. Do one on all of them and then we'll bump the fence and do another one. Go. Questions yet? I'm going to sit down for a second, see if there's questions. Because I always think that things are relatively self-explanatory, but maybe they're not. Or is everybody just complaining about my lack of dust collection and riving knife? We're back to the loud squeak. See, Klein on Amazon for 30 bucks. Yeah, it was probably, I think I paid around 28, 30 bucks, something like that. You zero it on the saw blade. Yeah, that works too, I guess. I would want to reference it off the surface it's sitting on, but doesn't much matter. Just curious, why did you not cut the grooves before you mitered them? You could do it either way. It makes no difference, really. If I had to have a reason why I did it that way, it's because that's the way I did it last time. Yeah, I mean, you would only have to tilt the blade once. No, you still only have to tilt the blade once. You gotta put it back after anyway. Yeah. Sorry about the dust collection, Craig. No, it's understood. I totally agree with you. It's not an ideal situation. I have a crap dust collector that I just got my shop wired up enough to actually be able to use, but it's all the way over there and it's not piped anywhere, and it's just, yeah. Bought mine when I worked at Rockler, got the Wixie, paid too much because it's a Wixie. Yeah, I don't know. This is Capri. I think I just went to Amazon and was like, what's the one that's $2 cheaper than the next one? So $30-ish. It's accurate enough for my needs. I've never gone to 45 and had it be not 45. So yeah, so we got all our 4 sides. We just got to cut a panel and put it in now and then glue it up. Nope. Got to cut our little... I mean, we don't have to. Maybe we just don't do that. I could route little finger holds in it later. We could just get the thing made. No, let's just do it right. And then I thought maybe we'd do like an epoxy pour on the bottom of this one because it's dry. And I put some CA, some black CA around the outside just to seal it up in case we wanted to do it like an artsy pick a couple of colors of epoxy and mix up some epoxy and pour it in, make a mess. But I want to get my panel cut so that I can have a beer. Back to the table saw. We're going to put this guy in here and mark it straight on here. And then, because of course I did it on the wrong side, we're just going to have to guess. Actually, no, let's... There we go. And now we can fire it up over here. Normally, okay, another disclaimer, I guess, since we're talking shop safety and whatnot. You don't generally want to run a board this way. Longer this way than this way. But I am comfortable having that much reference surface against the fence to make this cut. A lot of people would tell you just use your crosscut sled or your miter gauge or whatever. I'm fine. Thank you very much. If I'm pushing through here, as opposed to here, there's enough reference surface over here to keep it against the fence and keep it from twisting, especially on a sheet of 1/4 inch plywood. And then because it's square, it's going to turn it this way and do it again. And want them all facing arrows, facing the same way. Get in there. Get in there, jerk. There we go. Oh. Trey. Beer time? Eric says beer time. I agree. I agree. Eric Habakabaka. All right. Oh, Chili's here. All right. So we're almost at this point. We got to do some. Oh, Great Grandpa's here. Brickhouse is here. Met Brickhouse on Jax's show last night. We are at this point in the process. And we're just going to cut ourselves some little, I guess, what do you want to call them, feet? Or you want to call them like finger? The reason I did it this way is so you can pick it up when it's on a table. But it kind of turns it into feet at the corners. But I mean, this is a perfectly good tray just like this. We could glue this up and be done. Been talking about the consistency of the Star Bond. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Oh, beer time. We're doing good. 34, 35 minutes in, and we've essentially got our tray already. Like I said, we could just glue this up and have done with it, but Brickhouse is Seth. I can remember that. Probably. One of my best friends named Seth. How's the weather in Canada? I'm golden here on the coast. I'm living the dream. I don't know. I can't speak for all of Canada. It's enormous. But we're getting down to 3-ish at night and hovering about 7, 8 during the day right now, which would be what, 35 to 40-ish. I don't know the conversions for the Fahrenheits. Okay, now we'll cut ourselves a little bottom thing. 1.5 feet of snow on the East Coast today. Yeah, that's what you get for being on the wrong coast. Yeah, we'll do the little feeties to give us a place to grab. Like I said, I could just glue this up, and then I could just like take a round, like a bullnose router bit, and just put a little crease in here, and it would do the same thing. But I like the sort of decorative aspect that this gives it a little bit of lift. Funny story, Paul. I'm at the gallery today, and some people came through sort of first thing in the morning. The guy turned the corner. My guitar is currently hanging in the art gallery as part of the member show. That guy turned the corner and he saw it hanging on the wall, and he just like beeline straight to it. And he's like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, that's my first one." And he was like, "Hey, you made that?" And he got all excited. And he was like, "Yeah, I just moved back to Canada. I've been in Texas for a while. And I'm actually just got back here a little while ago. We live in a condo here. So I'm looking for somewhere that I can like do some woodworking. If I can rent a space in a garage or a hangar or something." And I was like, "Oh, what do you do?" He's like, "I make guitars." And he showed me, Telecaster. He makes Telecasters. And I said, "Oh, it's funny because I actually have a friend that is also in Texas, and he makes mostly Telecasters as well, and he sent me some guitar parts. I don't know if any of them made it into this one, but he's a fan of the show and whatever." And it's like, "Yeah, it's Paul Waldrop and Waldrop Guitars in Plano, Texas." And him and his wife just turned to me. They're like, "We came here from Plano, Texas." I don't know how big Plano, Texas is, but this dude also makes Telecasters and moved here from Plano, Texas. He's never made his own guitar neck, though. He buys necks and puts them in bodies that he makes. I think he's only done 2 or 3, but still, I just thought it was hilarious that I don't remember his name. I wish I remembered his name. He's going to email me so that we can have each other's contact info and stuff. But I just thought it was hilarious that this guy from Plano, Texas came through the gallery today and talked about how he wants to find a place to get back into woodworking so he could get back into woodworking. He makes Telecasters. He's from Plano, Texas. It's like super funny coincidence, small world kind of situation, right? All right. While I'm sitting here, hey, Great Grandpa's paying me to have a beer. I appreciate it. We're just gonna mark in 2 inches. I got this thing set for 2 inches. That's about what I did on these ones. And I'm just gonna mark it on the side with the groove, the inside, because then in from both sides. And I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to run it along the side and draw a line about 1/4 inch from that groove. And draw a line all the way down just like that. So now I've got my start and stop, and my groove at my line. I had to go back and replay the story about Plano, Texas. Does he have tools? I know a good local spot for people that don't have shop space to use for a really good price per year. He has some tools. I don't know if he's fully shopped up and they're just in storage, or it was just like a casual conversation that I had with the guy. He wants to find a space that he can use for shop space in the area. But when he emails me, I'll let him know that there may be opportunity. So now I've got I only need to draw it on one because I'm going to cut this one out. I'm going to Forstner bit at the corners here to get a nice round like that. I'm going to bandsaw along here, and then I'm just going to trace that on the other ones. After my beer. It's going well so far. Shouldn't say things like that, but it is. The base in Comox has a wood hobby club that civilians can join. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know if he wants to like rent like a garage space off somebody, or like if he wants to get into like a communal shop situation or what, but no, Tyler is not in the service. He is well, you'll hear his story if you listen to the podcast on Monday. We go all the way back into when Tyler Peterson started making stuff. It's a fun talk. And then next week, I'm talking to Lily Adkins White for the show. And my friend Brad Ruff is going to come on for a show. And Scott Grant from Custom Creations is coming on for a show. And Jax wants to come on for a show. And I've got the list from last week. Brian's going to come on for a barbecue episode. Waldrop's coming on. Got all kinds of interesting guests coming on the podcast. Let's cut ourselves some little grooves and get this thing glued up. All right. Find you guys a spot to sit over here. So I'm just going to line it up on the end line and get it just touching that top line. Put a little divot in there. Then we'll pop a couple of holes in. And we'll just bandsaw down that line. Oh, I should have totally used my dick. And I totally didn't. Where is it? It's over here someplace. It's around here. It's literally right below me. I could have used my dick to make my dicks. Oops. All right. Next time. Easy peasy. And then this. What am I caught on? Oh. There we go. Now we can just trace that onto the rest of these. And go back and do the same thing. It's gonna take, I'll get a little notch there. Yeah, sand that out later, but whatevs. Yeah, and we'll take our little dick. We'll just approximate this time. Go. There's a boat there. You can't see it. There we go. I love it. It's super functional. It is. Whoa, come on. Let's see if I got it approximately right here. Yeah, it looks pretty close. You ever use the marking gauge I sent you? Honestly, I'm not sure if I have yet. I don't know that I've had to mark anything since he sent it to me. I haven't done any dovetails since he sent it to me. Yeah, no, I don't think I actually have. I haven't done anything that needed more than a pencil mark. There we go. Obviously, that's not going to be the finished surface. But it's at the point where we can glue it up. And have ourselves a little tea tray. Yay, us! Miters are all closing nice. Will be once I get a clamp on it. Am I going to put splines in the miters? Probably not. For an 1 7/8 miter, expanding and contracting, I don't think it'll pop. And it's a plywood. If it was solid wood bottom that I was worried about expansion and contraction possibly popping a corner, but a plywood bottom, probably not. It wouldn't take much work though to I've got my spline jig that I just run it over the table saw that way. But I probably won't bother. Put a Rikon impeller into my Harbor Freight dust collector. All right, people helping each other out with stuff. Talking about the dick. Yeah, and I'll just touch up get the sandpaper in there and touch up those bandsaw marks after the fact. Should we glue it up? Should we do the epoxy pour in the other one? I don't know. I think that's a pretty good effort for a show, but maybe. I'll leave it up to you guys. You want to mess with some epoxy tonight? Let's glue up the new one. We'll get it in a what are these things called? Anybody know what these things are actually called? These strap clamp? What is it actually called? That's what I use for like painting panels and little things like this. It's called a clamp. Okay. Yeah, it's a frame clamp maybe? I don't actually know what they're called. Corner clamp? I don't know. And basically they're just like a strap with a little 90-degree, oh, you can't see that. These things go on the corners. Then you tighten this guy up and it pulls everything together. And you can't actually see that yet. Strap clamps, I think, is probably... But I don't know if they're called something different when they've got these little, like, 90-degree corner bits on them. Ratchet strap clamps. It is... I mean, you could just use a straight-up, like... those things that I have in the back of the truck for ratcheting down material. Is that the clamp you got me for my birthday? It's like those ones. I don't know that this is that exact one. I've got probably, I don't know, 4 of these. Because I use them for painting panels and stuff. So just get that approximately set where it needs to be and then loosen it up a little bit. We can get some glue in this bad boy. I am going to use more glue than I normally would because I want to fill these gaps if I can, if I'm going to be doing epoxy pours on these things. But normally, if you were just doing this like that and not pouring epoxy into it later, you wouldn't need very much glue here. I normally wouldn't be putting like a whole bead of glue down in that. This is an interesting show. Making something not on the lathe. Who knew? Who knew we could make something not on the lathe during this show? Get on there. Well, it's the last one always, but there it is. Come on. Go those to marry up nice. Hold it tight, lock this. There we go. Very good. Pretty good. All right. Too many different yeah, that's why people start talking to each other and we can't figure out who's talking to who. So, tray is in clamps. Hour 5, we made a tray. What am I going to do with the lathe? I'm just going to fix it. I'm pretty sure that I just have to tighten a thing, but I'm going to talk to Laguna and make sure it's on record that I have had this problem, whatever it is that ends up being the problem. See what they say I should do. I think it's just a belt tightening. If I can get that, I'll show you. So, down in here, I don't know if this is gonna, so this should be raising these things when I do that, and it's not. But I think it's just a matter of tightening something in here so that this is actually operating properly and connecting to the motor mount situation. And that might be the problem. That might be the only problem. I might not have a bearing situation. It might just not be tightening the belts enough. Epoxy time. Like I said, I did sealed up underneath with some black Star Bond, just in case I didn't fully fill those gaps with tight bond when I was gluing it together. So we can mix some epoxy and make a couple of different colors of it and just like do some swirls and stuff. do the magic, like the cooking show thing. It's like, so now that we've got it in clamps, we can take it out of clamps and you put the turkey in the oven and then you take the turkey out of the oven or the pie or whatever. All right, later time. Everybody listen to the podcast on Monday. We'll learn all about Tyler Peterson and TP guitars. Microtonal necks. I'll Kink Izzard and the Lizard Wizard. Start pouring. You're not in charge, Kyla. I will start pouring whenever I feel like it. Later. Love Laguna. Used to work at Rockler at the head of Laguna Tech Support. When the lathe arrived broke, to handle it quickly and hand delivered the parts to me. Yeah, well, you're just up the road. But yeah, I've heard mixed things. I've heard people talk about how Laguna is horrible to work with, but I've not heard that for a while. Most of the time when I hear about Laguna customer support these days, people are really impressed. Maybe it was like old customer support from Laguna that people weren't getting, but I don't think that that's the case anymore. I need a new beer. And then maybe we'll pull out some epoxy. I don't know. I still don't have a scale to weigh epoxy, and it's a 2-to-1. So I can't just like go up and then go up twice as much or mix things in equal volumes and then pour them together. So I'm just going to be estimating. I've got clear plastic cups with no gradations or anything on them. So I'm just going to go like that much and then twice that much and then mix them together. Yeah, I'll let you know, Paul. Kyla, it is a volume measurement, but I think weight would be fine. It's not going to be that much different. Just bought a digital scale so you can mix your own shellac. I bought a digital scale, but I cheaped out, and I didn't actually realize that it only goes up to like 500 grams or something. Like it's super small. I know it's different, but it's not going to be that much different. Like when I don't need a full pump of West Systems, I just need a little bit. I just go a little bit and a little bit. I've never had epoxy not cure properly by getting close to the right ratio. I'm sure if I mix this much epoxy in one, or this much epoxy and this much hardener, and it's about half as much, and I mix them together, it's going to cure on the bottom of a tea tray. Yeah, but see, this stuff isn't a pump. I don't have pumps for this stuff. Use 3. Oh, hold on. Neil's got some. He's dissecting it into math. Use 3 cups. 1, and then 2. Ooh, that's a good. I could do that. I could do this much, an inch, and an inch, and then pour them all together. I just used 3 cups. See? Neil Phillips is on top of it. All right, we'll mix some up. And then we got to pick a couple of colors. And we'll just dump them in. But I want to sit for a couple minutes first. I haven't actually well, I was sitting most of the day at work, but I wasn't like not doing anything. So I just kind of want to just relax for a few. Oh, Catalina wine mixer. There we go. And now I have 2 tea trays that I don't need. Years in a science lab playing with chemicals. Yeah, you've learned different ways of measuring liquids. Oh, beer. That's fun. What do you guys think of the Not Lathe Project live show? Is that a thing that we should maybe look at doing more? Because if it's like a little straightforward, easy thing, I don't know how many things I can go like start to finish in an hour and a half or 2 hours. So, but maybe if I have one partially done, like tonight, we're just going to do the epoxy pour in the one that I already prepped. So maybe even like, bandsaw boxes I could do to the point where you're gluing it back together, and then have one where I'm at that point and then finish it off. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Do a cooking show. Have you been around long enough for that to be a joke, King B? I don't know, because there is a running joke on this show about the fact that I tried to do a cooking episode and it did not go well. Mallets are quick, like this type of mallet I could probably do on the show. This one's busted, but yeah, might be able to do one of these. It's not busted so much that I can't hit stuff with it. Bowl from a board? I've never done a bowl from a board at all, so I'm not going to do the first one on the show. But I could maybe do a mallet. This one's got BBs in it. This thing is like, you murder somebody with this. I put like an inch and a bit Forstner bit holes in the maple, filled it with BBs before I put the walnut on the outside. And it's also like enormous as it is, so I didn't need to do that at all, but damn. Pen turning on your drill press, or a bowl on the table saw. I'm not doing a bowl on the table saw. Izzy can do bowls on the table saw all he wants. You guys were already like freaking out about the riving knife situation, okay? Oh, I'm having fun again. You guys are cool. I'm a little concerned about Richardson's. Maybe I did actually piss her off with the soap thing. I thought we were cool, but it's like 3 weeks in a row now. I'll send her an email. Be like, are we fighting? Like I did with Lily. Let's get some little plastic cups. Need 3 cups. How much epoxy do I need to cover a 12 by 12? Somebody who knows epoxy, tell me, like an inch and an inch. Give me 3 inches of epoxy in one of these little cups. That's got to be way too much. I don't need anywhere near that much to just cover the bottom of one of these things in a little design. These little plastic cups. I don't need a board foot worth, because that would be an inch thick. I just need like a little layer, like an eighth of an inch over 1 foot. How much of this cup worth of epoxy do I need? 3 cups. 2 of part 1 and 1 of part 2. Mix them all together. And then I can divvy them back up into their original cups and do 3 colors. Pour some beer in the tray. Pour it into the cup. But then my tray's all beard. That's not quite correct, but I wouldn't want to pour epoxy on top of a wet beer-coated tray. Don't need these anymore. By the way, in case you guys couldn't see my face during that, most of the time I was wearing safety glasses. Quarter inch in each cup. I don't think that's going to be enough. Maybe. I don't know. How about a dollop? We'll go with a dollop of epoxy. But then some of it's going to stick to the sides of the cup when I mix it together. Too much is better than not enough. Idea. We're going to just mix up some epoxy. And whatever's left, I'm going to pour into the chili pen molds. I'll intentionally make way too much, and then I'll fill the chili pen molds with some epoxy. Artisanal beer epoxy. I like that. That's a good idea. Neil Phillips, full of good ideas tonight. All right, let's start by getting this one out of the way and putting it somewhere that I'm not going to knock around it. While it sets up, it can live over here by the lathe somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Oh, it's the workbench. Oop. Good there. It's the workbench that needs flattening. Okay, good to know. Let's see if we can get it on a flat part. That's even worse. There's like no flat part of my workbench. Oh, here we go. I found a flat spot. It's close enough, I think. There we go. We got magic resin. In case you wanted to know what kind of resin it is, I am not affiliated with them in any way. I paid full price for this stuff. Wouldn't expect your workbench to be flat. Hand planes are for show. Shut up. to the bottom line. Oop, no, to the second line. Two of those. I don't have to do as much camera moving when it's a lathe show. Whoa! This stuff is a lot thinner. There we go. 2 to 1. Let me find my pen thing here. Oh, and I can try my mold release stuff for the first time too. Do I need mold release for the silicone mold chili? Or can I just do straight in? Because it'll just like pop out anyway. I gotta wait for advice. Let's go back and sit down again. Because I clearly don't know what I'm doing. And I hope nobody uses this show as sort of any sort of informational programming. Hey, Hattie Mazone, thanks very much for being a computer. Yes, on the mold release. Okay. Okay, so mold release. That'll be lots of epoxy to do a coat on the bottom. And better safe than sorry. Yeah, but I didn't know, because maybe the mold release will like eat away at the silicone. I don't know. I clearly don't know. I would hate to like wreck the mold by putting mold release on it and find out that it's like has a reaction and it started melting it or something. It could happen. We'll stir these things together. We'll pick some colors. Let's pick some colors right now. We're going to do three colors. And we have many, many options. I'm going to pick, I'm not doing a poll. You guys screwed that up. I don't do polls anymore. Padell's about to say cherry or myrtle or something stupid. I'm going to pick some options for you guys. And then I'm going to pick 3 people to pick colors. I like that. Toilet brown. Not doing that. I like that. That's a cool color. That's a cool color. Oh, I'm picking too many already. Let's... I got like a lot of colors. Something is wrong with this toilet. Like, who has a toilet that color, like, that isn't covered in shit? Resin sucks out of a chemical from the silicone, and the mold will eventually change color, be less flexible, and need to be replaced. So then why would I use it? Or I guess I have to? Anyway, Chili told me to, so I'm gonna. Softy pink? Softy pink. Let's... Alright, I used purple and blue on the last thing, so let's put those out. Those are out. Orange, yellow. I might just end up picking these for us. Deep red looks cool. Hey, somebody said gunmetal? Sean McGill said gunmetal. I got gunmetal green. Maybe some white and then two others? Or black and two others might be cool. Red and orange? No, I'm not doing Calgary Flames colors. No. I guess it's red and yellow. But okay. We're going to go with black or white and then two others. So let's start with black or white. That I can do a poll on. But I'm not going to actually keep count. I'm just going to see, like, do you have an overwhelming preference as a group? Black or white? Let me know. To go with the two other colors that we're going to do this thing. It'll look good swirled with the toilet brown. Toilet brown. I don't know that I'm ever going to use toilet brown. Like on principle. All right. Lily says white. Anybody else? Kyla says blue. Kyla, we're doing black or white right now to go with two other colors. I should just pick things. I should just pick things. Stanifer says black, which means that Stanifer and Lily are now fighting. Gunmetal green and toilet brown. All right, two for black. Lily's alone with white. Come on, guys. Black or white. We got to pick up pace on the choices here. Black or white to go with two other colors. Black. Oh, Lily. Sorry. Looks like everybody is on the black train here. Oh, Kyla's got you. 3-2. There's no overwhelming majority, though. That's not good. Come on, guys. Black or white to start. Another for black. 4-2. Apparently, I can actually count them up because people are going slow. Another white. Another white. Oh, 4 apiece. Another white. Oh, where white pulls into the lead? Really? Wow. Oh, Chili ties it back up. Okay, it's close. I'm going to give it another minute. Black is up 1. No, King B, you can't screw with me like that. I can see that you already voted for white. You can't be doing... All right. So this is why I don't do polls. See, now it's like 5 apiece. And... I guess I'm just going to decide. So I'm going to go with white. Is Lenzen here? What did Lenzen pick? Because I'll just go with the opposite of what he picked. Oh, wait, what did Pinnell pick? Pinnell picked white. Ah, damn it. All right. White and two other colors. Two other hopefully complementary colors. White, turquoise, and orange? White, turquoise, and orange? Or white, taffy, pink, and ooh, I like misty blue. That's cool. Now, copper? I don't know. This is not going well. Random grab bag. Okay, we'll take white. We'll put it over here. We'll grab all the rest. No, because I don't want it to end up looking crappy. Misty blue copper, Lily says. I like that, actually. I like misty blue, copper, and white. Sounds pretty cool. Okay. There we go. Easy as that. Somebody just said a combination that I thought sounded good. It happened to be Lily, and I think I'm still trying to like make sure that I'm friends with her because we had a fight. White, misty blue, and copper. There we go. I need a stir stick. Where are... Uh-oh. I thought I had new popsicle sticks. I think they're inside. I'm gonna go look. Hold on. Find something to stir this stuff with. I'll be back in a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. I know I bought a new pack of popsicle sticks. Huh. I don't know where I put my new pack of popsicle sticks. Found little shot glasses. That's probably not helpful for what I'm actually trying to accomplish. Watching TV now. Forgot about you. No, I'm looking for... I bought a new thing of popsicle sticks from the dollar store. I don't know what I did with them. So I'm going to have to just use like random scraps. Or something. There we go. This is like a random skinny offcut from, in fact, the first epoxy project I ever did. You can see a little bit of it at the end there. We'll just... Little sticks of alder left over from the last time I did epoxy. A little cut off. So, oh, that one's all... I got... Ah. all over the outside of that one. Oh, that was the one that poured out quicker than I was expecting. Right. Forgot about that. That's the hardener. All right, just dump them all together. That looks cool. It's like neat stuff when it just all mixes together. Okay. And grab one of my little sticks. I should be wearing gloves or something. This is a professional show. In case anybody's wondering if it's your first time, I'm really good at this. Mix it all up, divvy it up. There's a crap ton of working time on this stuff. It's a deep pour epoxy, which is unnecessary for this particular application, but I have essentially forever. So I'm going to take my sweet time, making sure it's nice and mixed. Anybody else making anything cool these days or what? Paul's making guitars. I don't want to hear from Paul. I'm just kidding. Mikey B, what are you making these days, my friend? Chris Pennell made snowbanks. I got a piece of broken off wood in there now because I'm just using a thing that I just broke to stir with. That was not the best idea. All right, Mikey B's making RC trucks. That's probably lots of stirring. Let's see if I can't get this little piece of wood out of here. Yeah, got it. Some in that one. Some in that one. And some left in that one. There we go. Yeah. We can have a little bit more of one color. Okay. So now we're gonna go white, misty blue, and bright copper. Can I open them with gloves? go white for that one. Little scoop. Maybe a little second scoop. We'll go copper. We're just playing now. Oop. No idea how this is going to go. Copper in that one. Oop. Upside a little bit. That's all right. We'll knock that down. Do a little bit of misty blue in the last one. Let's see if we can keep from getting little pieces of wood in it. Next time, if I ever do this again, I need to make sure I got my popsicle sticks ready. I don't know what I did with them. All right, misty blue. I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to have to mix up some more epoxy to do these pen blanks. All right. Copper. Oh, that's gorgeous. I don't know if it's gonna. All right, misty blue. We got some copper, and we got white. What epoxy am I using? I'm using Magic Resin epoxy because it was the right price when I wanted to order epoxy for my first ever try at epoxy. It was the cheapest that I could find that got okay reviews. And I don't have enough experience with epoxy to recommend or not recommend. So we'll find out next week on the show how this turned out. All right. We got to come over here. Oh, I got to pick up stuff with gloves full of epoxy here. Hold on. Okay, that's not going to work. Try to get you guys someplace relatively stable. This is going to be difficult. Sorry for the jostling. Yeah, okay. That looks all right. Let's, think maybe we'll do like a white base coat and then put the copper and blue in that. Let's do some white. Some copper over here. Yeah, if I'm gonna do pen blanks, I needed to make more epoxy. But I made enough for the thing that we were trying to do. Oop, get it on the side. Was trying to avoid that. All right. I'm gonna clean that up. Move some stuff around. Clearly don't know what I'm doing, but it's fun. And it's all gonna just do what it's gonna do while it's drying anyway, so let's just use it all. Get it all in there. I'll wait for a bit. And then maybe I'll give it a swirl in a little while once it starts setting up. I don't know. Might be okay. We made a mess. I am gonna clean up the edge there that I kind of spooged onto. I know you guys love it when I use that word. We're having fun. We're having fun again. We're having fun in a new way. Just wipe up that a little bit. Whatever. We'll let that do what it's gonna do for a little bit. This is 90-hour set epoxy, so I don't need to be in a big hurry to like pop bubbles and stuff, even though like I do have one of these right here. Well, there are some already coming up to the surface. I did an epoxy thing. It may or may not have been a good idea at all. find out. We'll find out next week if this was a good idea. You need a skewer to make a pattern. Your face is a skewer. I'll do some little swirl. I'll let it sit for a little bit, because last time I swirled, it just unswirled itself. Like, well, it was starting to set up. So I'm going to wait a little longer this time. And then maybe I'll do some things in it. I made almost exactly the right amount of epoxy to do just that. So next time I know that I need to make more if I'm going to also do bend legs. But we're learning. We learned something this week. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Oh, I got another spooge that I didn't see before that I want to wipe off the side. And hopefully those just kind of blend in with whatever finish I end up using. Oh, that's neat. I can actually see. You guys probably aren't going to be able to, but there's like actual bubbles like coming up and popping. Yeah. It's like I can actually see it like mixing and starting to. Huh, that's rad. It was actually super fun. In the last video that I did, the first ever epoxy thing that I did, I was like, it was funny that I cut in the part where I just like stared at the stuff for a while I waited for it to cure. But like it was actually fun, like watching it do the stuff that it was doing. I was like, oh, look at this one. This one's starting to like do one of these like all by itself. It's like a chemical reaction happening that's like, yeah, right? Watching epoxy dry. You guys just want to hang out for a couple hours and watch this thing develop into whatever it's going to become? I don't know. Maybe it'll turn out cool. Like I said, we'll check it out next week. I'll have it here, and I'll finish finishing it before next week, and we'll check it out. Maybe it'll be cool, maybe it'll be garbage. Copper, misty blue, and white. We'll just let it mix itself, maybe do a little bit of intentional stuff, maybe not. Maybe we'll just let it do. I made 5 necks this week, Waldrop says. Me. That's it. That's all I got for this one. We're just gonna let that do what it do. We got another thing already drying. If this one turns out cool, then maybe I'll pick 3 more colors and do it in that one too. Anybody got anything else to talk about? Because I'm all out of ideas. That was a pretty productive show. Made a whole tea tray thing and then did an epoxy pour. But I got nothing else to... No, that's not true. I get it. You guys take phone calls when you're in a store? Like I don't remember what store I was in, but some lady was talking to somebody on her phone in the store. And I thought about it and I was like, I don't think I have ever either taken or made a phone call in a store. Like I've texted like, hey wife, is this, like send her a picture, is this what we needed or whatever? But like actually walking around and having a conversation on your phone in a store? Is that weird to me, or like am I the weird one that thinks that that's not cool? And like, especially like going up to the till to check out, and the person is now like cashing you out of your stuff, and you're sitting there talking to somebody. I don't know. I don't think if I saw that somebody was calling and I was in a store, I would not answer it, and then I would call them back and be like, "Sorry, I was in a store." But I don't know. But it came off as like being super obnoxious, and then I thought about it, and I was like, maybe I'm the weird one, and that's normal. I don't know. Maybe it's an etiquette thing and I'm wrong, and it's perfectly fine to be talking to people on the phone while you're walking around a store. I think it's weird. I find it kind of annoying when customers do it. Yeah, like I can't imagine like giving your stuff over to somebody who's now going to like punch your stuff in or ring it through or whatever. And you're like, "Yeah, no, so I was out with Sally and we were or whatever," and like have a conversation with the person that you're dealing with. Like, be present. I don't know. Here. Uh, Maybe I'm just on a high horse for no reason. Depends on how loud she was. Well, that was the other thing too, is she wasn't being subtle about the fact she was having a conversation. Is that soapboxing I hear? Yeah, see, maybe it is. I don't know. It just came off as being like I would never do that. And it just when I said like I don't have anything else to talk about, that's what came to mind was this lady. When I worked in the bank, it happened all the time, but the worst was when someone started trimming their nails in the bank. All right. Okay. I don't know. Everybody's got their own set of things. I should just, everybody's living their own life. This is already doing cool things. You guys probably aren't going to be able to tell, but like, it's already doing cool things. So we'll see how it turns out. Definitely rude when going at the checkout. Less so if you have, yeah, if I'm in an aisle by myself and I'm like, I need to have a conversation with somebody called and I knew it was going to be important, and I could be like, I'm in a store, let's make it quick, but what is it that you need, kind of a thing. But this was not that kind of conversation. This was like the kind of conversation that I would have on my deck over beers with friends. It was like a just a hangout chat conversation. It wasn't like a, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be a second, I'll be right there. Bye. It was like full on walking around the store having a chat, like a catch up. Mm, whatever. It's I'm being judgy, and I don't like being judgy. So let's move on to something else. And again, I don't really even like being on the phone at all. So just swept them into a bank envelope and handed them back. Yes, here's your biohazard. What else can we talk about? We got an LHQ. I mean, we're 2 hours in. We probably don't need one, but Lily, you got a hypothetical, or did you fall asleep on the couch? You do. All right. Let's have it. You save some for Tuesday, though. You can save some for the podcast. What do you got for this week? go. Here we go. Oh, I should have brought my Cool Ranch Doritos. I'm going to bring my remind me to bring my Cool Ranch Doritos for the podcast. I'll try them live on the podcast while we're talking. Who would play you and your family and or friends in a movie about you? Okay, first of all, why is somebody making a movie about me? And it would probably be some no-namer like community theater person because they wouldn't be able to hire somebody good. But okay, let's go into the make-believe world and say like for some reason like I can pick anybody. I want to be played by Chris Isaac Galifianakis is not a bad answer. Chris Pratt, I think, I would want to be playing me in a movie about my life. I would say, okay, if Chris Pratt is going to play me, Brickhouse isn't here for the Cool Ranch Doritos conversation. It's that I haven't had Cool Ranch Doritos for a long time, but I remember them being like a big part of my childhood. And Lily reminded me about them a few weeks back. And so I bought a bag to see if like they're gonna like bring back nostalgic memories and stuff. Nick Offerman would be good. Yeah. I don't. Chris Pratt, I think, has a camber to the way he speaks that I think would mesh up well with like my sense of humor. But I'll cast Chris Pratt as me. Wife would be Julianne Moore. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know any small child actors to play Sven. Nobody here knows my friends, so that if I made like reference to like who would play the friends of mine, it wouldn't really make sense. I'm trying to think of who would play Bennett. That's tough. Brickhouse can play my friend Seth. I don't know. Are you short and play guitar and like kind of computer nerdy with like a little bit of geek and a little bit of rock and roll? That's not fair. Seth isn't that short. He's not short like my friend Sam Mendes, who has once in a while showed up on the show. Mike Bennett. I don't know. Chris Pratt would make a pretty good Mike Bennett too, actually. That's tough. Yeah. I'll go with Chris Pratt for me and Julianne Moore for the wife. Fat Matt Damon could play a good you. That's true. He's not quite ginger enough. I was trying to picture like because you tilt towards the ginger side of things. So I was thinking like that what's his name? The guitar player, the musician guy is like one of the biggest musicians in the world right now. He plays really good acoustic guitar, and he's ginger. If we could get him to fatten up a little bit, and he acted. What is his name? Why can't I not remember his name? He did. I think he did the theme song for The Hobbit. You're not. Yeah, I know you're not ginger, but you, Ed Sheeran. That's the guy. I'm thinking like fat Ed Sheeran as Mike Bennett. But you're also not like fat. Like you wouldn't be. You wouldn't have to put him in like a Mike Myers like fat bastard suit. But like, let's chunk up Ed Sheeran and we'll make him play Mike Bennett. I'm offended that you want Ed Sheeran to play. It's just like I picture. He seems like a pretty cool dude. Like he seems like he's got a pretty good like sense of the world, and he'd be fun to have around. Weird Al. Now, hey, you're not quite as Kevin James would make a better you. See, that's going too far the other direction. Get Andy McKee to do Bennett. I don't know if I know who Andy McKee is. And you guys don't actually know Mike Bennett, so why are you picking the? Yeah. Anyway, that was a fun question. It's fun to think about. I like the idea of Chris Pratt and Julianne Moore playing Mike and Pam. What would we do? Like, why would somebody be making this movie? It wouldn't be interesting. Seth Green. No, wait. Is that the one that Seth Rogen, maybe, not Seth Green? Seth Rogen could play Mike Bennett, actually. Now that yes, I found it. It's not Ed Sheeran, it's Seth Rogen. Like, you remind me of Teddy Swims on YouTube if I haven't heard of it. I've not heard of Teddy Swims. Andy McKee is a phenomenal finger-picking guitar player. Okay. Well, he would not fit in anywhere if he's a really, really good guitar player. Action woodworking comedy. Seth Green would make a great Seth, maybe. Yes, Seth Green actually might make a good Seth. And then Seth Rogen would be you. And I would be, yes, I'd be Chris Pratt. Julianne Moore would play Pam. Who would play M? And who would play Jackie? And who would play Mark? Who would play Mark? Who swears a lot? And I think it's funny that Lily dropped that hypothetical question and then ghosted. No, she's probably still watching and she's just sitting there just laughing at this nonsense. Willem Dafoe could play Mark. Oh, that's funny. That is funny shit right there. That's beautiful. Willem Dafoe as Mark is awesome. And then and then Jen would be okay, we need somebody who's like we need a tiny person. Like a I don't know what the politically correct term is for these people anymore. Um, to play Jen. We need somebody like 4'3". Because that would be awesome. And then Willem Dafoe beside her. Kathy Gifford? No, she's not short enough. And you're thinking Kathy Griffin, I think, right? But yeah, no, she's not small person enough. Oh, that's funny. And then who would play M? I don't know. I'm running out of ideas here. But this is a cool cast of characters to play this group of people. I'm digging this movie. This might actually turn into a good movie. What beer am I drinking? I am drinking the Sleeman Original Draft. Is kind of the default sort of fallback beer for the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff show. Because it's like $1.50 more to get a 15 than it is to get 12 of comparable quality beers. These inside jokes about people you don't know are hilarious. Yeah. Hey, how about shut it? Jackie could be Veruca Balk. This is a good point. Yes, she could. Absolutely could. Or, what's her name? Play Tank Girl. Katie Miyuchi? Is that what her name was? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else then. Veruca Balk would be good for Jackie, though. You're right. Mm-hmm. Anyway, again, these people don't know any of these people, so this is not really that entertaining anymore. Who would play Lily? Lily? Who would play you in a movie? I'm going to say based on only ever seeing you in one YouTube promotional video about barbecues. I'm going to go with, you know who I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with the girl that played Chris Pratt's girlfriend in Parks and Recreation. I don't know that girl's name. But I bet she could play Lily. Yeah, Bennett still had fun matching people. Yeah, so the one person that's watching actually enjoyed this conversation. No, not Ann Perkins. The one that he ended up with and marrying. In the show. I don't know that I ever knew what her name is. Aubrey Plaza? I'll go with that. I'll trust you. I could see that. I could see Lily being played by her. The girl that played Stevie in Schitt's Creek. I didn't watch Schitt's Creek. Yes, I know she did. She said it just above you. Are you guys both, like, are you in separate rooms, or like are you both talking on your phones in the living room? And then yeah, it's fine. However you got to do it. It's all good fun. This thing's turning out cool. We made some good choices. The copper and the misty blue and the white, I think is gonna. Oh, it looks like it might be thinning out on that corner. Did I screw this up with the level? It looks like this corner is getting thin. Well, maybe it is. I'm gonna have to wedge this up a little bit. Yeah, I want to wedge that corner. Yeah, because I think yeah. There we go. We'll see if that helps. It's definitely starting to get a little bit thin at the one corner there. So we'll just lift this one corner, get things to even out a little bit back the other way. April Ludgate, that's the one I was thinking about. I actually thought we were talking about the concert nights on the show and how we're gonna do like a Tragically Hip night and an 80s hair metal or 80s hair band night and a 70s classic rock night and a Canadiana night. I was thinking it would be cool. It would be cool to learn like songs from TV shows and movies that like were created in the show that aren't actually, so like for example like the the little horse, little Sebastian that dies, and then Chris Pratt writes the song about for the tribute to the dead mini horse. I don't know how many of those I could figure out, but it would be pretty fun to like sing made up songs from TV shows, and I don't know if that's going to be enough. I might need another wedge. I made two, because when you make one, you actually make two. I'm going to wedge that up from this side as well. Hopefully that evens things out a little bit, because it would suck if like one of them ended up, one corner ended up like just totally bare wood, and then there's a big pool in the other corner. 10,000 candles in, no, 5,000 candles in the wind, because what's 5,000 times better than a candle in the wind? Actually, Chris Pratt plays a few good songs in that show that are pretty funny. I fell in the pit. I need another beer again. How did we get to this point now? Yeah. It might need to be a little bit higher than that even. Oh, we'll wait for it to even itself out, but I think it might need another bit of wedge. That might be okay. Good thing it takes 90 hours to cure, so I can just like adjust it as it goes, as long as I'm paying attention. All right, another beer. That's the last one though. We're at almost going on 2.5 hours now, so oh, it's having fun though. I love hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun. We have a good time. And yeah, so episode 2 of the podcast comes out on Monday. Should have the audio and video versions of it coming out at the same time, because I have them both done. And I'm recording at least 3 more episodes on Monday and Tuesday. And we're going to go with every other week for the first while, because that's about what I can justify spending the time to do. So I believe Lily Atkins White will be episode 4 of the Wooden Things and Stuff podcast. But we'll see. We'll see how the order actually ends up rolling out. Is that it for tonight, everybody? That looks... I might level back out here. Because that looks too much going the other way now. Yeah, that's too much this way. Yeah, that's better. All right. Eventually, it's just going to be whatever it ends up being. So... get the heat gun on it later. Maybe see if we can push some things around and swirl some stuff. I don't know. We'll find out next week. Come on back next week and we'll find out how that ended up. Am I still live? Nobody's saying anything anymore. But it is time to get the show wrapped up. We're going on 2.5 hours, and that's too much. You're actually going to be able to leave that there for 90 hours. Well, I don't have to leave it there for 90 hours. It's 90 hours till full cure. But I would say in 24, it'll be like set enough that it's not actually going to move. And I can like bring it inside or whatever. Oh, this is still running. Yeah, sure is. We're still here. Yeah, see, I can already see it moving back towards that corner back there. Filling in that spot. All right. Night, Atkins Whites and Sullivans. I fell asleep twice, Chris. Fuck, Brickhouse caught on quick, too. Sometimes people catch on quick. I think we talked about that last week. Yeah, people either get it or they don't. When they show up here, they're either like, okay, this is fun because they get it, or they're like, I have no interest in this nonsense. I'm out. And then they don't come back. Yeah, he'll fit in okay, I think. He caught on 1 episode and he's already, well, to be fair, it was 2 hours. But yeah, he caught on pretty quick. Let's wrap it up. I'm going to watch this for a little while just to make sure that things are actually balanced where I want them to be. But I think we'll see. It's doing some cool things already. Like it's starting to do like sort of almost little burl looking things. Swirl it in 24 hours. Yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow morning, maybe. I'll come out and I'll give it a little. But maybe not. Maybe I'll just like how it looks and I'll just be like, that's fine. I'm going to walk away. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. We're done for tonight. I appreciate you all coming. I appreciate all the support. Bye for now. Thanks for helping me on the thing. Even though you didn't really. I mean, Lily did. She picked the colors. The rest of you were just got in the way. This is cool though. Until the lathe, at least I know that I don't need it to be a lathe show in order to actually make something on the show. So there's a good proof of concept. All right. I'm out. We'll see you next week. And tune in on Monday. If you don't follow the podcast, go subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts and stuff. And if you haven't subscribed and hit the notification bell for this channel, do that too. And also something about Patreon, which is where you can financially help support the show. And also pitch some advertiser. Craft Miracle Whip. Bye for now.